Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of SUGTalks. I'm Craig Dale, your host, and together with our special guest we'll take a deep dive into the topics, challenges and opportunities facing SAP users today. Please make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. I'm delighted today to be joined by Uma Rani, President and Chief Product Officer for Cloud ERP Private at SAP. So welcome Uma.
Thanks, Craig, and lovely to be here and talking to you.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you, Uma. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing SAP's roadmap for Cloud ERP Private and what's on the horizon for customers. And just before we get into that main topic of discussion, Uma, I'd like to ask you, are you a recipe follower or an improviser when cooking a meal? And do you have a dish of choice?
I usually am an improviser because I cook all my meals myself. Usually I don't eat out too much, so I'm usually cooking myself. And I usually work on the South Indian meals of India. And you know, India is a land of taste, so I kind of focus on the South India recipes as such.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's great. So do you have kind of, when you say you're an improviser, do you have kind of a set base that you like and you just add spices, flavors just to see what comes out?
Absolutely.
Oh, lovely. I think that's what I do sometimes. You know, I'll just start something and then I'll just start throwing things in just to see what comes out the other end. And, you know, if it wasn't nice, well, we'll try again with something else next time. And we'll go from there. But thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate that. And I've got the grandkids coming at the weekend. I'm putting a lasagna together for them because that's what they're like. That's an easy laid thing for them. But just to get into it, Uma, if I could ask you, please, would you begin by introducing yourself and your role at SAP?
Yeah, maybe I start by saying that I have been through SAP now close to 29 years. So
Wow.
when I relate to our customers, right, I started my journey with SAP as a consultant, customizing SAP R3 software for the particular market of India. So I was localizing the SAP software for India, ensuring that it meets all the legal requirements for the India market, working with a lot of customers. So I had a lot of customer experience. I did many roles in SAP, starting with development and then collecting requirements, the product management, rollout, enablement, all of that stuff. And over the years and right now, my role is to serve this biggest install base of our customers, which is the private cloud and as well the on-prem customers. So I'm the Chief Product Officer for Cloud ERP Private, ensuring that we have the right strategy for our big customers to take their business transformation to the next level as we move into the AI transformation era.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. So on that note, could you perhaps provide a bit of background on SAP Cloud ERP Private and how it's evolved?
We had started the S4 journey with SAP in 2015. Many of our customers joined that journey in 2015 with S4 HANA. In 2020, we realized our customers have a lot of challenges taking on-premise application, deploying it, being able to keep up with the speed of change, because we also see a significant momentum in the market, how customers are transforming, how the IT teams are transforming. And we started the journey of Cloud ERP Private almost 2020, and here we are 5 years later into 2026 with more than 5-digit number of customers adopting and in different life cycle of their journey with Cloud ERP Private. Now, what does this private cloud provide for our customers? It provides a platform where they get the innovations on a regular basis on a 6 monthly. So we do have a release every 2 years. The last release was 2025. Then we have feature packs which comes with innovations on top of it, and SAP takes care of ensuring that their infrastructure is right in place with the right services from our GCO organization, takes care of the security, compliance and all of that part. And we provide the innovation to our customers, helping them to focus on their journey to the business transformation. And we ensure that the future innovations of SAP is keeping pace with the Cloud ERP Private journey as we move the things forward. So when I look at the strategy of, if I can continue, we have laid out 6 things to make Cloud ERP Private the choice for our customers. The first thing is we keep the core strong. That is, we are running the heart of many of the enterprises. There are mission critical applications which is running on private cloud. So we need to provide utmost stability for our customers during upgrades, during their operations, that there is no unexpected downtime, no unexpected problems in their complete operations. So that is first and foremost. Then we provide innovations, we provide the outcomes with the power of AI and data. So we bring in the latest of business data cloud as well as business AI into private cloud. We also know our customers have extremely complicated landscapes which are multitude. So what we try to do is to provide out of the box integration between the parts, at least what SAP provides, and an integration suite which allows them to integrate the third party data onto that. But we also know the business models of our customers are changing, which means we co-create functional enhancements with our customers. This is something that we are doing in chosen areas. For example, value chain analysis is where we are working with 5 key co-innovation customers to bring in the next generation of material valuation with carbon ledger. Just to give one example, right? There are many more examples there. So this is just to say this is how we define the roadmap for private cloud as we look forward.
Okay, and so when we look at private cloud specifically, because obviously we've got public cloud, and so you mentioned also earlier when you were introducing yourself of your role with regards to on-premise customers. So who is SAP Cloud ERP Private best suited for? And where does it make more sense to go Cloud ERP Private rather than Cloud ERP Public?
I mean, when we started this whole journey of Cloud ERP, we really looked at our customers. There are certain set of customers who would be happy to go with standardized business processes, do not need very large amount of customization, who need much more faster time to implement, are willing to use things out of the box. And public cloud ERP, Cloud ERP Public is a solution for those customers who are willing to standardize their operations, are willing to run faster, they are willing to consume innovation on a 3 monthly cycles and move faster. Whereas Cloud ERP Private is targeted for those customers where they need a fair amount of customization. They need the opportunity to enhance what SAP provides with something addition to that. We know a lot of our install base customers have put a lot of effort on customization in the previous decades. Some of those things may not be relevant since the releases have also improved, the product has improved over time, but still there are a lot of additional value adding functionalities our customers has built on top of the standard product. And for those customers who need specialized attention, that is where Cloud ERP Private comes, because it gives them the added flexibility. It gives them a little bit more independence on their upgrade windows, how often they want to consume the innovation, what additional functionality they need on that. So that is where the sweet spot of Cloud ERP Private. So if you are a customer who's planning an upgrade, the key question to really think about is, am I ready for a standardized business process? And am I ready to do that transformation in my business user base? Because some things will be very straitjacketed, or do I need flexibility? And that is what should decide the path they take.
Oh, thank you. And to throw another spanner in the works, so to speak, where does Sovereign Cloud fit into all this?
Sovereign Cloud is a deployment option compared to Cloud ERP Private or Public, which is more including the product innovation option, right? So private cloud ERP can be deployed with the sovereign cloud option for those customers who need geographical preference, need a specific set of certified operators to run that, and sometimes even at their premise. But Cloud ERP Private is the product which is part of the sovereign cloud option.
So that's kind of the deployment element, the
exactly, because which geography you want to have your data center in, what kind of certified professionals are allowed to access, who can see the data, who can access the data, who can operate the data. So Sovereign Cloud allows that discretion for the customers, that it is operated in a particular geographical zone with certified people.
Thank you. And so what does the future roadmap look like? Where are we going in the future? We heard quite a lot at Sapphire, the autonomous enterprise. So how are we moving forward there?
So there are three levers, as I mentioned, that we will move forward with. The biggest lever is the autonomous enterprise. Why? Because we see now with the power of agentic AI, the business processes can be rethought. And as we build the agentic solution, and what you saw at Sapphire, the whole announcement around autonomous enterprise and the agents across the 5 autonomous domains are also available for customers with their ERPS private cloud. So whether it is a financial close assistant or a sales operation assistant or a logistic assistant will also work for customers having their ERPS private cloud. Of course, we know there are many releases in private cloud. So we have some minimum release requirements, because you cannot go into a release which was in 2021 and have all the agents work on such a release. But all the agents that we are thinking through in this autonomous domain of finance, supply chain, procurement, we ensure that this can work across apps and not on top or not within the boundaries of an individual application. So that is one big piece that we are working with respect to how the future roadmap looks like. We also know that those days where we put the full load of integration on our customers, giving big manuals or giving it to third-party vendors to integrate multiple parts of the portfolio, this is also over. So here, that is the second part where we are looking at to provide that end-to-end integration for whether it is Business AI platform, Joule, Business Data Cloud, or let's say the SaaS applications of SAP, like can Ariba integrate out of the box automatically with Cloud ERP Private or success factors, right? So this is the other big roadmap that we are working on. And the third one that we are working very closely is, many times our customers come back to us with requirements in specific areas, whether it is defense and security, whether it is aerospace and defense, or automotive industry. We have customers coming up with enhancements to the business process. So that is the third dimension that we are working, and these three together drive the roadmap for Cloud ERP Private. I must say the acceleration on the roadmap is quite high, in what we would like to see from the user groups and our user community and the customer community is also accelerated adoption pace, because that will help them to make the best out of their ERP investments.
And on that point, if we're looking to kind of accelerate customers' adoption and get customers really moving forward, so they're on that journey to the future, what should a customer do to perhaps jump on that journey now? Well, what do they need to, I suppose, A, understand where they're at currently, and B, what should they be aspiring to be doing?
First thing is to really look at, have they already started the journey to private cloud, right? Many customers are still in the journey, and we know that the journey sometimes for some customers can take several months. We do have with the Sapphire announced agentic AI to help the migration and modernization, which will be available towards end of Q3 to Q4. And we would really look at our customers looking into these assistance which will help them to accelerate the journey. And the second thing, what we would really look at the users to think about as they look into the future is how they have customized the systems. Because there were a lot of system integrators who have done the customization in different ways in our customer systems, and we see that every day, right? So we still believe in future the private cloud customers need customization, but there is also a way to do it in a clean core manner so that these customization are upgrade protected, so that a customer can consume the new things which are coming from SAP without worrying about what happens to the customization that I did. And that is where I would really like to have the customers go. We do have customer councils. We have a council for clean core where a lot of customers come together. I'm sure a lot of our Sugen customers as well as UK Su customers are also part of that, where they not only get information from SAP but also can share best practices with other customers who have done that, right? And for the agentic AI era, as we transform the business processes with AI, here as well, we see a key participation from our user groups and customers, because which is an agent that adds the highest value may be very different depending on the customer. I give this example for many of my customer meetings. We are working on what is called as a cash position agent, which helps our customers to know what is my liquidity at a particular day. Now, the value of such an agent will be different for a customer who has only 2 bank accounts, because they can know just what is the balance in that 2 bank accounts compared to a customer who has 120 bank accounts, right? So we also invite our customers to be part of this brainstorming exercise to define what are the agents which has the highest value as such.
Thank you.
We know our community, but we don't know yours yet. Why not share the benefits of your UKI Sub membership with those who don't know about us? The UKI Sub referral scheme rewards you for helping to grow and develop our community. You can check out the link in the description to find out more about how you can get involved. Terms and conditions apply. We hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
And on, I suppose, just the difference between private and public cloud, I believe SAP stated that they won't ever reach feature parity. Is that correct? And why is that?
Public Cloud ERP is meant to create a standardized SaaS environment, while private cloud is providing a breadth of functionality with the room for customization. So, since these are two parallel paths going forward, it's not that we expect that it is one versus the other. So, we have seen a lot of customers where they take private cloud ERP for their headquarters or their biggest, let's say, part of their company, and for their smaller subsidiaries they go for public ERP and ensure that this integration between the systems works seamlessly, which could be an option for many of the customers, because in a subsidiary you can have a standardized processes, whereas you need the flexibility in a headquarters or in, let's say, a big plant.
Thank you. And so what SAP stated that both private and public cloud products are strategic. And so want maybe to exercise a ghost, so to speak. So how should customers think about Cloud ERP Private? As a long-term destination or as a transition path towards a more standardized public cloud model? How do you see that future progression for customers?
I would say it depends on the customer. The reason why I say this is there may be a business demand in certain customer segment where they may say, I am good with standardization because I am going to do some divestiture and my business complexity is going to come down. In which case they may want to go into public cloud. So it's not a decision from a product roadmap point of view. It is rather a decision from the business and operation complexity of the customer. Do I want to go towards standardization of my business processes, or do I need the flexibility at a future point in time? As I mentioned earlier, we will continue to have both the products, and their business complexity will decide how they want to progress.
Thank you. And with regards, we mentioned customisations a number of times, and obviously the clean core, and you mentioned the customer council around clean core. So with that in mind, how does, I suppose, the roadmap of Cloud ERP Private allow customers to modernise and reduce custom code without perhaps losing what's generally strategic for them, genuinely strategic for them?
So what we have done is, as part of the clean core, we have defined 4 levels, A, B, C, D, where we say the D kind of modifications or customization is what the customers should not have at all. A is where the highest level, where the APIs are completely there. B is where you can have a wrapper and have it. So we recommend our customers to go for either the APIs in the A or B category. You may have customizations which are in the C category, but we recommend A and B. And what we from SAP provide is that these APIs remain stable. So if a customer would have used these enhancements to add their customization, they are upgrade safe, and the enhancements that SAP provides will not, let's say, lead to a negative effect on customization using that API. So that gives the certainty for customers to do the upgrade in a more, let's say, secure fashion without having to test all the enhancements or customizations which are done on top of that. A lot of customizations, Craig, I must say, has happened over time, right? Somebody built an enhancement, let's say 10 years ago, and that person is gone, and nobody looked at changing it after that, right? That is what we see with a lot of customers. And maybe the upgrade is an opportunity to relook at it. We do have very good examples where a customer with 12,000 modifications as a part of their upgrade process, they went through all of that and they could bring it down to 80. And you can see then the effort that they need to put in an ongoing upgrade is going significantly down.
Oh, wonderful. And I think, I'd just like to go back to the AI element, if I can, and delve into that a little bit more. But just touching on what you mentioned around, if you like, the path to ERP Private Cloud, and what we talked about there was, I think you mentioned the migration and modernization agents. They're going to be available end of Q3, beginning of Q4. Did I get that right?
Right.
Okay, lovely. And on the customization element, I believe one of those agents, I think there's 7 agents, I think overall, if memory serves, one of them looks at custom code.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So for customers, if you like, looking to embark on that journey from on-prem to cloud, those migration and modernization agents coming at the end of the year, so to speak, can really help speed up and, I suppose, reduce costs for their migration.
Absolutely, because just to go through the custom code and recommend this is the way to move forward already saves a lot of effort.
Wonderful. So with once customers looking or move to Cloud ERP Private, what AI capabilities can they expect to get? And are there any that perhaps will come to public cloud customers first, that private cloud will get later?
I think with AI, the whole paradigm of release is changing, right? Because the agents that we saw at Sapphire, the whole autonomous enterprise layer, with the business AI platform, with the Joule and the Joule engagement layer and the Joule desktop are all part of our business AI platform, which means it is sitting on top of our applications. So you could imagine ERP as the products, whether it is public or private, in one layer, and then agents and the AI platform sitting on top. So they are part of the business technology platform layer, and the enhancements to that layer continues to happen on an ongoing manner. And that interacts with the APIs either in private or public cloud, triggering actions, triggering inferences, triggering insights. So what we have done with the early adopter care and the release of the agents is that they are immediately available for 2025 feature pack 1 onwards. We have quite a large number of customers in the 2025 feature pack 1. So if it is available there, it means that it is available for anybody after that. In one more month, that is by the end of August, we will have that also for 2023 customers. So this is what we are making available. So there is not going to be a time delay between when the agentic AI gets available for our private cloud customers. They are there instantaneously as it gets released in our business AI platform. So we have kind of separated the release cycles, if you will, so that it works separately.
Oh, thank you. So when we look at that, obviously Dual's been mentioned a few times. It obviously the role-aware assistance, if you like. So it's getting a growing library of agents. And are there any limitations for Cloud ERP private customers? Are all of those agents available?
There are certain agents which will work on products like a field glass or let's say a success factor. The HCM agents work on top of success factors. So obviously we expect the customers to have those products, but otherwise anything which is on Cloud ERP or on the ERP processes would be available for private cloud customers.
Oh, thank you. And just like to go back to you were talking there about early adopter care, and obviously SAP works with users and early adopters to help co-innovate solutions like Cloud ERP Private, etc. How would a customer or our members look to get involved, and what influence do they generally have over kind of what ships next? What developments get put into the product?
Yeah, so these are two different parts. So early adopter care is where the product is already built. So now as part of Sapphire, we collected nominations for customers. So there was a QR code which was circulated to all customers who were part of Sapphire, either Madrid or Orlando, to sign up for the early adopter care. So here, this part comes after the product is built. Now, what do customers get? A product is built. Now they get a chance to experience the product in their own environment, not an SAP environment. So they get it. So the agents get connected to their backend system. The Joule client gets deployed for them, and they get time to test and provide feedback with a white glove treatment, which means they get preferential treatment for getting all their problems in this care phase to be resolved with prior zero urgency. So that when we make the product available, generally after the care phase, it has taken care of all the problems that is coming, right? So that is the early adopter care program. Now, you mentioned also about how can users influence the roadmap itself. That is where the councils come into play. Right now, I would encourage whoever is interested to influence the roadmap to get in touch with us so that we make them part of the influence councils. We have strategic influence councils for each of the autonomous domains. And that is a process to roll in requirements into SAP so that what is key for this customer base gets rolled back into the product as well. So it is two different processes, one before innovation, one once the innovation is ready for shipment.
Thank you. And if I remember rightly, the early adopter care in old money, that would have been the old ramp-up program, is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Don't fully understand that. And so if a customer wanted to influence a roadmap and get involved in influence councils, you mentioned get in touch. What's the easiest way to get in touch?
I would suggest to contact your user group contact from Yasmin Awad's organization, and she will put in touch with the council members who can then enroll the customers into that.
Okay, so we'll look to get that.
I think all user groups have access to our user group team, and they will then put in touch with the right influence councils.
Right, fine. That's no problem whatsoever. Our members can contact us and we'll get that done. So just moving on. So customers are looking to move towards Cloud ERP Private from their current system. What are some of the biggest barriers customers face when moving to Cloud ERP Private, and how can they get over them?
I think the biggest thing is many of the customers have accumulated a lot of enhancements over their journey, and they have kind of specialized it. And I would say Cloud ERP Private and S4 is different compared to ECC. So the journey is different for a customer who is moving from ECC into Cloud ERP Private, because they need to also rethink some of the things, because we as well change, for example, from how we handled business partners. We used to have a customer and a vendor entity, from where now we have a business partner entity. So there are certain steps that the customer need to do to reach there. The second hurdle that customers face is also about their data. And depending on how aging the previous system is, there is either good data or sometimes not so good data. And data quality is extremely critical as we move into the era of agent. That is why we also have an agent in the modernization migration agent chain, which will focus on data as such. So that is the other space where customers see challenges. We have done a study with a large set of customers, and we have found that 50% of their project effort is going into testing. There are a lot of automations which is available to also think about how can they improve the automation. And what we from SAP want to provide is, as you move from, let's say, S4HANA 2023 to 2025, we can provide recommendation that between these two releases, not everything changed, right? This is the part that changed, so that the customers can also limit their testing to those parts, which will as well help them quite a bit.
So just moving back now, as we come towards the close of our conversation, Uma, just back to talk about the autonomous enterprise. Perhaps we've touched on that a few times, but what does this kind of mean practically for a Cloud ERP Private customer 3 to 5 years out?
I mean, maybe even before I go 3 to 5 years out, let me state here right now, because a lot of customers are in their journey to private, right? Which means they have systems which are in ECC or S4 on-prem and going into RISE. So what we announced as well in Sapphire is for those customers who are on a journey to RISE, who have at least 50% of their maintenance base converted into Cloud ERP Private subscription or RISE subscription, they can have agents in their existing landscapes. Yeah. So the customers who are in their journey get the value today already. They don't need to wait until their transformation to private cloud is complete. So that is the key message to the user group, and they will get more information on what is possible already today and what can come in future. Now, as we look forward, what I want to leave our customers is with the message that as we rethink business processes, as we bring in tighter integration of company memory and look at end-to-end processes, our Cloud ERP Private customers get to benefit from the agentic transformation, so that they get the value out of each and every business domain and the business AI platform. That is why we have Joule Studio as an extension point, because we know our customers' landscape is hybrid. So there is a possibility of extension using Joule Studio. There is also an opportunity for a customer to build custom agents using Joule Studio, because if you have built a bespoke functionality and you need agents on top of that, that can be done. And also, it is possible that you may have agents from other third parties. Then integration between SAP agents and third-party agent is possible using n8n. So that gives a complete opportunity for our customers as they look forward to transform into this agentic era. But what I want to leave with is this transformation into the agentic era is not just a technology transformation. If a customer looks at it just as a technology transformation, they will struggle to find the value, because equally it is a people transformation and business transformation, because unless they are willing to rethink how their business users work with the system. If I'm used to seeing a report at the morning, if I'm used to seeing my bank statements in the morning every day of all the banks and then deciding what I should do, even if you give an agent to that person, they are not going to use it, right? So it's equally important to train in the mindset transformation for making this agentic transformation successful. We will make the product the best in class for our customers with the resilience that you have always seen from SAP, always seen from ERP, but it also needs the business transformation.
Thank you. And finally, Uma, for our members and customers listening, perhaps thinking, whoa, this sounds compelling. Where do I start? What's the one practical step you'd point them to today?
They can go into SAP for me and look at what agents are applicable for me. How much AI units do I have? And what can I try with? Because there are certain trial options. Can I try out some things so that I get comfortable, right? So that would be the first place to really look at and say, okay, let me try this out for 1 month, 2 months, and then see what comes out of it. So be on the watch out, be open for whatever information is coming via all the user groups. You guys are doing a fantastic job spreading the information, and we are more than happy to collaborate with you to provide you with everything that is needed to make our customers successful.
Uma, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your insights and for joining us today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig. Loved it.
And to our listeners, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it valuable. Please make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And until the next time, stay safe, stay well, and do something today that the future you will thank you for.